I want to welcome everyone and thank you that I can share with you something that I found out. I'm a teacher, a preschool teacher and a primary school teacher. I have over 20 years of experience working with children and I work with the kids that have some difficulties in social adaptation, in studying skills, and due to my work with the kids, and due to my searches, I came to World of Pedagogics, and a year ago, I came to Switzerland as a refugee, and I started working in Zurich with the refugee Ukrainian kids in a state Swiss school. Some children have very severe traumas, like their house is burnt or their parents have died. Some children maybe even didn't notice what happened to their own land, but they surely noticed that they are in another land now, and it is also a trauma for kids. All of them don't understand what is going on and what they can do now. And I already had the experience of working with kids in such situations, and with me from Ukraine, I brought a couple of toys, and it is really a special toy. It turned out to be a very special toy. This small toy, a hedgehog. There are a lot of hedgehogs. They are self-made master who's making those hedgehogs. She's from Ukraine. She lives in Kiev. And now the kids living here in Switzerland, they began knitting the toys themselves. This hedgehog, it's really a magician. He helps to his owner to come to senses. Today we already heard that a lot of people, also children, they come out of senses. We surely can tell children just put yourself together, but it isn't as easy to do. And when a child gets such a toy, it is very easy to hold it, and you can embrace it with the other palm, and you can feel that you have soil under your feet. And when I have this toy in my hands, I want to do something. I feel the ground under my feet. I feel that I'm a human being. I have my own interests. There is something interesting in this world, and I'm ready again to hear something, to see something in this world, and to tell my own story. And indeed, children, they have something to tell us. They want to share what happened to them. And they didn't hear before that they can share something. It is a very new idea for them. Each hedgehog has his own story. when kids get this present, Lolita tells the kids that just as you, this toy is far away from his home. He also doesn't have home now, and would you like to have this friend living with you? And all of the kids say at the beginning, oh yes, I would like to welcome this friend from Ukraine. And normally it's like this, that all children have a favorite toy with which they play. They build a house for this toy. They learn to take care of the toy and take care of somebody with the help with this toy. And when the kid begins to organize a house, for example, for a toy, or knitting a blanket for it, then the child understands what he or she needs, him or herself. As you can see, this hedgehog doesn't have a mouth. And the children who saw this, they asked me, oh, this hedgehog doesn't have a mouth. He can't tell me his story. And then I told the kids, but this hedgehog can tell his own story to his owner. And that's how the children began to tell the story of the hedgehogs, but in fact it was the story of their own life. Through those stories, they began sharing their own stories. They even made a Telegram channel and called it The Hedgehogs Are Coming Into the World. And it was their own initiative of their preschool and primary school children. They added me to this channel. For example, they are thinking of what are the interests of the hedgehogs. For example, the hedgehog who enjoys making music has got a flute, or a hedgehog who loves traveling has an opportunity to travel now, and they make photos of their hedgehogs traveling. And this helps the children to see beauty in the surrounding world. Due to war, those children lose this experience that the world is beautiful and the world is safe. And when we give such a toy to little kids, they gain again this feeling that the world is beautiful. The world is good towards me. And now you can see some photos on the screen. 10 photos. I chose 10 photos for today. Please show the photos. This hedgehog is called Lolita. The kids call it Lolita. And each hedgehog becomes a name. a hedgehog in the palms. For every child, this movement is the first movement that every child really makes with the hedgehog. And they choose themselves the color. The first story of the hedgehog is about the hedgehog on German. Hedgehog helps children to study the language without worrying about the notes, the accent. The children are inspired. They learn a new language without worrying about whether they talk well or not. On this photo, you can see a diary of the hedgehog and his bed and a carpet that the child knitted herself. And today we already heard that knitting helps to combine the lost connections. When I do something with my own hands, then I can connect something in my life. To write down something in German, it was like for some kids, for the first time that they began writing in German due to those hedgehogs. And now we are thinking of making a book with the stories of hedgehogs. And here you can see an interesting moment. The hedgehog is traveling and see something interesting. Here the hedgehog noticed that Goetheanum looks like a hedgehog. I don't know whether you noticed it as well. It's due to the hedgehog that I noticed it for the first time. Swiss children wrote down this letter. They also wanted to get their own hedgehog, and they brought me a letter. So I bring you a hedgehog and go to the teacher of handcrafts, and the teacher will give me some thread and knitting tools. And it isn't difficult. Those two knitted hedgehogs, knitted by Swiss children, live in Germany in a family with a lot of children, small children. And now you can see a home of hedgehogs. When a child gets a new home, it is important to find some space for this house. And it is important that, for example, refugee children, they don't have a lot of spare space in their homes. And that's why it's important to think beforehand for adults where this hedgehog can live and what materials they can use to make a new story for the hedgehog. And this was a small story of hedgehogs therapy, of what we have done with hedgehogs and which direction we are moving now. If you have some questions, I could try to answer them.